Hello everyone. Okay, this is the practice sheet running up to test number 3 for spring 2016, and in particular this sheet has two problems about using supply and demand models and incorporating them into international trade. So the first one's kind of straightforward. Let me get it for you. You're given a demand and supply curve like you've been given all semester, and you're asked first to find the equilibrium price and quantity under autarky. You just need to remember that autarky is an old-fashioned word that only economists use nowadays, and it means no trade. So we're looking for the equilibrium price under no trade and the equilibrium quantity under no trade, which is very much like how you did it on test 1. First you set quantity demanded equal to quantity supplied. Then you substitute for what these things are. Then the next thing you do is you add 500 to both sides. Then the next thing you do is you gather up all the p's on the right side. And then finally all you do is divide both sides by 4. And I get an equilibrium price of 750. So that 750 goes right here. And if you're keeping track of your image, it goes here, because this is price on this axis and this is quantity over here. Then it asks you for the equilibrium quantity. You might remember that the rule is equilibrium quantity is the quantity demanded or the quantity supplied at the equilibrium price. So we're looking for this place right here. So I can use the demand curve or the supply curve. I'm just going to go ahead and use the demand curve. So the equilibrium price is 750, so it'd be 1.5 times 750. So I get 1125 for this thing, and I'm going to subtract that from the 2500. So I get the equilibrium quantity is 1375. That goes here. Now I can check my work by doing the same thing with the supply equation. So again, this time I'm going to apply the supply equation. So it's 2.5 times the equilibrium price of 750. And this time I'm going to subtract 500. And again I get 1375, so I must be good. Now it asks, okay, how will things be different under free trade? You have to look that the world price is 800. So if this is 750, the world price is up here someplace at 800. I hope you can see, without doing any algebra, that at the world price the quantity demanded is going to be less than it was before, and the quantity supplied is going to be more than it was before. So what's going to happen is we're going to produce more than we actually consume once we allow for world trade, and so all this production that we didn't consume is going to get exported. So down here it asks, is this good imported or exported? It turns out it's exported. But before I get there, I have to calculate what these things are, and the way I do that, the quantity supplied under free trade is just the value of quantity supplied when we use the free trade price of 800. So that would be 800 times 2.5 minus 500. So I get the quantity supplied is 1,500, and that's this number right here. I'm a little crowded, but that would be 1,500. And then the quantity demanded I get from the demand equation. Remember, my world price was 800, so it's 800 times 1.5. Then I'm going to subtract that mess from 2,500, and I get 1,300. So that'd be that number right there, 1,300. So we produced 1,500, we only consumed 1,300. We exported the difference, and it says here give the amount. Well, the amount I hope you can see is 200. Finally it says describe what will happen in this market if the world price slowly begins to fall. So taking my ruler now, I'm up here at a world price of 800. Can you see if the price falls and falls and falls? Can you see that the amount that we're going to export shrinks because the quantity supplied is getting less, the quantity demanded is increasing? Finally, if the world price should fall all the way down to 750, this firm won't export any. It'll be in equilibrium. There's no difference between the world price and the domestic price, so they won't engage in international trade. Taking it a step farther, if the price continues to fall, I hope you can see that now the quantity demanded is going to be greater than the quantity supplied, so when the price is way down here, this country will import the thing. To summarize one more time, when the world price is above the equilibrium price, this country exports the product. When the world price is equal to the equilibrium price, this country doesn't do any imports or exports. And when the world price is lower than the equilibrium price, this country will import the product. Okay, that's number one. Now problem number two is very similar. It's just tedious. It's tedious, and I've put hard. I don't know how hard it is, but it is tedious, and it's easy to make a careless mistake. So basically you have 4 supply and demand problems. Count them up. And then I'm going to ask you which country has the highest price under autarky, which country has the lowest price, and so forth. So to answer these things, we're going to have to figure out the equilibrium price in each example. So we're just going to have to set QD equal to QS 4 times and work it out. Now, it turns out that all we need is the equilibrium price, and I've done so many now I can kind of do them in my head. The equilibrium price in country 1 is just going to be 4,000 minus 2p equals 3p. So I'm going to add 2p to both sides. I'm going to get 4,000 equals 5p. So 4,000 divided by 5 equals 800. So in this one, the equilibrium price is 800. If you don't like doing it in your head like that, I invite you to work it out like we've done all along. You should get 800. In this case right here, the equilibrium price is going to be 8,000 divided by 5. I get 1,600. In this one over here, it's going to be, can't quite do this one in my head, it'd be 5,000 plus 2,440. And I'm going to divide that mess by 5. I get 1,488. I get 1,240. And in this last case, it's just 3,500 divided by 2.5. And I get 1,400. Okay, so now that you look at these things, you can see the country that has the highest price under free trade would be this country right here, country 2, because its price is 1,600. Which country has the lowest price is going to be country 1, because its price is only 800. Now if all the countries trade, find the equilibrium price. Now the way you do that is, remember, for a regular country you just set QD equal to QS. If you want to find the equilibrium price for the whole world, it's the sum of all the QDs must equal the sum of all the QS's. So it's a little bit tedious, so I'm going to write it out for you. So here's how it would look. It's just all the quantity demanded. Do you see them? Must equal all the quantity supplied. The next step is, of course, to gather up all these whole numbers. So I get 18,500 minus 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.5p must equal 3, 6, 9, 10, 11p minus 2,000, 4,440. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add this number to both sides, and I get 22,940 equals 18.5p. Dividing through by 18.5, I get an equilibrium price of 1240. See how I did that? All I did is I took all the quantity demanded, here they are, and all the quantity supplied, here they are, and very carefully gathered up all the terms without making a careless mistake, and I get the world equilibrium price as 1240. So if all the countries trade, find the equilibrium price, it's 1240. Which country will be exporters? Alright, so to do that I'm going to draw the little pictures up here. So I've drawn the pictures. If you notice that the equilibrium price in country 3 is exactly the same as the world price, so I'm just going to bring that one over into all the pictures. And now you can see that country number 1, the quantity supplied is going to be greater than the quantity demanded, so they're going to export. Country number 2 is going to import. Can you see that? Because the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied. Country number 3 is not going to do anything. And country number 4 is going to import because the quantity demanded is greater than the quantity supplied. So which country will be net exporters? Only country 1. which country will be importers, country 2 and country 4. Considering only this partial equilibrium analysis, in which country or countries are consumers better off? Well, let's see. They're not better off in country 1 because the price has gone up for consumers. In country 2 they're better off because the price has gone down after world trade. In country 3 the price has stayed exactly the same, so consumers are indifferent. And in country 4 the price has gone down. So consumers are better off in countries 2 and 4. Considering only this partial equilibrium analysis, in which country are producers better off? Well, producers are better off in country 1 because the price has gone up for them. In country 2 they're not, the price has gone down. In country 3, no, there's been no change. And in country 4 the price has gone down, so only country number 1. So that's how you work these two problems, and I hope you find this helpful. There will probably be problems like these on your test 3. Okay, good luck.